low-key TV, breaking fools off.
What up, my nigga?
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
This is a Said LOWKEY TV production.
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
Yeah. You a hopper fool?
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
Yeah.
All right, Said TV Conversations out here with the Cut Man. My man Athen, what's going on?
You got it.
All right, so when did you start your craft on cutting cars?
I'm cutting cars. I got affiliated with it back probably about 60 or 59 or 60. But I started cutting actually in 67. I was a youngster. I'm one of the youngest ones. The guy that taught most of the people how to do this, me and Ernest, was like the youngest two he taught at the time.
Ernest House?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rest in peace. It's my homeboy. I watched this stuff change all kinds of ways.
Speak on you and Ernest House relationship.
We sort of like brothers. Everybody thought we was competition against each other because he worked with Alex, and but we just did our own thing. It's plenty of cars, and we knew everybody, so everybody had their pick. Some people liked Alex and didn't like him, which was silly, and some people liked me and didn't like him, and then there's people loved both of us, because Robot Terry dealt with all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you out there low riding as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Speak on low riding back in the day. Church's Chicken, Stops.
Oh, Church's Chicken, the Savoy, used to be right up the street here. All the Taco Leahs. Taco Leah used to be on Venice and Western, and the main one was right here on Firestone and Central. Then they had another one on Broadway in Florence. And we used to go to McDonald's in Compton when it was on the west side of Central. Now see, they've rebuilt that area. They put the McDonald's. Well, it was on the east side of Central. Then they put it on the west side of Central.
Right.
We used to go to Zorba's. We had all kinds of Dixie Club, World on Wheels. All them. Burger King. A lot of times, Ernest and Alex's boys would hop against mine. They'd lose.
They lose. I like that.
I cut a lot of celebrities. Freeway Rick's first car, Tommy's from Supernatural. I taught a lot of people how to do this work.
Right.
In art. Some of them will tell you yes, and then some of them won't admit to it.
Okay. So name some more people cars that's big in the low riding, cars that you cut.
Okay, well, Hoppin' Rod, rest in peace, his brother Wayne. Let's see, I can't think of all of them at the time because there's so many of them. But a lot of the people, that's somebody that had something to do with me.
Right. Okay.
Every weekend, people were coming by either getting cut or getting scrape bars. Because, I remember when people used to just lay.
Right, and I hear a lot about people flaming streets back in the day compares to it's a hop gang today.
Yeah, well, we had a gang. A lot of the cars I cut would lay and hop.
Okay.
And then you got some, they just wanted to hop.
Okay.
But little Tommy, it used to be a Freeway Rick and them. He cut his first cars. I taught him the gang, got him to hop before he went to jail. And let's see, Fat Anthony. Well, the Phaetons, they're my family. Tony and Teddy and them, rest in peace. Big Sal. All of us, we cut them out and make sure the car lay.
Okay. Low riding back in the day versus low riding today. What do you see change?
Well, one thing, going way back, we used to buy the hookup from Pally's, like $25. But you had to make your cups. You had to clean up the strokes and stuff to fit the car. And then with certain cars, a certain way you put them in. Now, me and another buddy of mine, that's the original cutout man, he started a little before I did. And me, him, and a few other people, and the guy that taught me, we developed a lot of the cups and methods to put the stuff in. Carl Watson, he's known for cutting like me T-birds and Polaras and stuff like that, Eldorados and stuff, the oddity cars.
Right.
Then Ernest was good at Fords and Chevys, Cutlasses, stuff like that.
Okay. So it was originally 10 cut men
Yeah,
back when you back in.
Back in the day.
Okay, and who are the original 10 cut men?
The one called him Flat Top. Got Carl Watson, Dick and Ron, but most of them talk about the same man. Then you get George Barris and Bill Hines. Got Salvador Faden, Teddy Faden, count them along with me. Let's see who else. Oh, Gabriel, same man taught him and taught me. Go down the line, it's a few. It grew. Some of the same ones, the after ones, I taught them how to cut, and they opened shops.
Okay.
I was friends with Oiley's, Mopar Hydraulics. A lot of the people I knew, TNC, I knew them. The guy, what's his name? It's been so long. That's history. Knew Andy's, all these people like that when they start opening up shops.
Oh.
Steelman when he started doing autos.
Okay. History. Give me some. We'll get a view of some Black history.
Okay,
Feedback.
the first lowrider and his brother. One of the first lowriders, he's still living. He's in his 80s. Okay, first lowrider's name was Charles Bell. His brother's name was Chino Bell. Chino's the one who put the name on the lowrider.
Okay.
They started how they did it, late 40s, early 50s. They laid their cars down real low. And at that time, and here in the 70s, see where the car junkyards was on Main, they had aircraft junkyards too. So what they do is certain driveways, they had trouble getting up into the driveways. So they sit back, got with the aircraft junkyards, got some cylinders, little stuff, and put together for the back to raise the back up so they could go up the driveways and stuff. Emil, who worked at Airborne's back in those days, he's black too. He had a Jaguar, and the Super Show wanted him to show the Jaguar at the Coliseum.
The Lowrider Super Show.
Yeah.
Okay.
The original was the RG Cannon, but that had the hot rods and everything. They wanted the Jaguar in there. It was so low they couldn't get it
Up the ramp.
Up the ramp.
Okay.
So he did. He went back, went to Airborne's, put in some hydraulics together, and he raised the back up so it could drive up in there. I think the first front and back car is about 56. It's an old Ford. Think about it, 54. I forget the guy. He was black, but I forget his name.
Okay.
But it laid down. Now the first guy's buddy of mine, his named Sonny Sims. He's the one that started everybody to hop. That's
Okay.
about 1967. He was messing around with his car. He put a few batteries in it, waited, and he noticed the car. He moved it enough, the car would leave the ground. And a few other friends did it. Next thing you know, it took off into what it is today.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
See, there's a lot of them. Everybody hollering, well, the Mexicans did this, Mexicans, but they didn't know that.
Nah.
Okay.
They didn't know. Sonny Sims. He's the one that got everybody to hop.
Okay.
And the car laid.
All right. I heard that back then people didn't get both front and back. It was either you had back or you had front at first.
Yeah, it started out that way. But see, it was tricky. What got the front and back to working is when certain people would drag the back. Okay, if you was just in the front, you lay the front on a straight bar or the belly, drag it, you look, you say, you know what? I ain't going out like this. you go and cut the back. So now you got a guy front and back. Now he's dragging the whole car on everybody.
Okay.
And then everybody with either the back or the front would look and like, oh no, so they got to go cut the front along with their back or cut the back along with their front, and then it just start going, people just start cutting them all front and back.
Okay. Your relationship with white boy Eric?
Close friend. Watched him as kids. Him, Freeway and all them, when they were kids. A lot of you guys today that y'all look up to, they were kids coming to me. Earlier, they used to be in my driveway or at my shops. And they were learning. I was teaching them as things was going on.
Okay.
I introduced them to different types of metal for scrape bars and different stuff like that. With those certain flames.
All right. You've been watching the videos, the Sunday conversations.
Yeah, some of them. Yeah.
Okay. Did you see L Dog's video?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, everybody that know I don't smoke. So he was true about it. It's like a 12-pack of beer. It wasn't a 6-pack. He just said a 6-pack. So we straighten that out now. I didn't cut the car for us. It was a 12-pack and some change and other stuff. And I taught him like everybody else. He was a beginner. That was his first car too.
Okay, you cut. So you're the person he was talking about.
Yeah, I'm the person he was talking about.
All right, so let's see here. Did you know Jay Clayton?
Oh yeah, I watched him grow up from a kid. I used to run with his cousin. I'm a master in karate also. And during that time, him and his cousin Peanut, they were kind of little and they slowed us down going around. We was trying to teach him and Peanut. We got to learn a little bit, but Jake, it was something about him. He was just awkward. But I watched him. I hate to say it, I miss him, but you live that type of life. That's what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Switchman turned me on to you.
Okay, he's a good guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you said, his beginning starts in the 80s. I take off way before where he come from.
Okay.
When I started, I got my first car. I had to load it late. I had to pull rip cords. See, the rip cord hang out, and biblical cord hang out the door now to hop it.
Right.
We had a cord you used to pull to make the dump open up and let the car come down. If you had a woman too big in the back, it would stop the cord. You couldn't lay the car.
Oh, okay. So
that kind of started with people not putting people in their back seat. So if anybody want to know, that's where that come from.
Okay, so I guess that's what Wild Cherry was telling me about when people go around the corner and they dump their car and didn't want nobody to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was part of that too. Some of them. Then some of the other guys got hip. Cal Custom used to sell the pop door kits. They were like a 55 Buick solenoid, and it would pop the door. So what they would do, they'd hook it up to the dump and pull it. That's what started the Carlin switch. It would go both ways momentarily in spring.
Right.
Then Pally's, Cal Nelson's, and Airborne's, they started selling solenoid dumps. Start telling us. I bought my first square dump for $7.50.
Really?
Yes. We burn out the top, throw them away. Pally started selling the tops for $7.50 and the dump for $12. We start going around picking all them dumps up and buying the tops. Me and a whole bunch of other people never thought they'd get the cost how much they do, but that was the original price from the airport. I watched the price on them grow from $7.50 to $7.50.
Right, and you're right.
And so on. The big monster square, the rounds, I know all of them. I'm friends with all of those.
Okay. Any more information with your craft that you would like to share with the viewers?
Clyde Pally, he was a technician. He was Sam Pally's other brother. He's the one, for some reason he liked him. He was a nice guy. He's the one that showed me the hoses, the flow, and all that stuff. He's the one that showed me technically how to make a car hot. because he told me to turn in room with the gear ratios and stuff like that. A lot of things people don't know. And he put me up on that, and as the freeway came to me, he wanted a hop technician. And at the time, I was the main man to come to.
Okay. So you've been here, how long doing this?
Well, I went to Edison and Miramani. I've been doing this since '67, but I also had my grandma. I lived better at both sides. This is Firestone Park. I lived also in USC Village.
Okay.
I did it in my grandmother's house too, 2639 South Budlong. And I know a lot of people, Larry Shipp, Curtis Kennard, Randy Kennard. I know just the whole, anybody that's somebody, I knew him. Raymond Washington used to come by here, and everybody.
And I was just gonna say that because I just learned today Raymond Washington had a rag tray and a 61, I think it was.
He had a 61, he had 64s. He loved 64 Super Sports. Matter of fact, the day he died, he came by my house and seen me.
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
What up, my nigga?
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
This is a Said Low-Key TV production.
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
Yeah. You a hopper fool?
Said low-key TV, breaking fools off.
Yeah.